Hey, my wonderful, wonderful people. A pleasant Sunday afternoon to you. If you have not yet made Jesus Christ your personal Lord and Savior, please feel free to do so. He's the best being ever. Certainly, that would be the best decision you could ever make. All right, I was actually scrolling through, I don't know if it was TikTok or one of the social media platforms. I think it's either TikTok or Instagram. I know it wasn't Facebook or the others. And there is a popular secular artist, local artist, very, 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 very popular, was posting his motor vehicle. It was one of those BMW trucks. In Jamaica, we call truck as in the big, heavy duty, what look like a truck, like a garbage truck. Not necessarily as a garbage truck, but I just use that as an inference, as an example. We call those trucks, but in America, they call what we call SUV motor vehicles trucks. So it is the SUV motor vehicles that I'm talking about now. I think it was a BMW. And somebody under the made a comment, it wasn't a disparaging comment, it wasn't a vitriolic one, it wasn't a negative one, but it's one that made me ponder as a Jamaican citizen. And it is, he said basically, and I'm just paraphrasing, he said it's just so sad how we laud these vehicles, and in Canada and the United States of America, they go for little or nothing. Little and nothing. And I said, and I remember years ago, a friend of mine had gone to Johannesburg, and she had said to me, Toni-Ann, you said the motor vehicles that we are lauding and praising, they say even taxis, they are used as taxis. They're a dime a dozen. This was many years ago. And we know that, those sections of the world, some of them, they manufacture some of these motor vehicles and so on. In other words, what we consider gold, in some places, it's not necessarily trash, but it is bronze. It is a little iron pipe. And it is so sad because what has happened to us here in Jamaica, and it contributes to our illiteracy or literacy rate being at 138th place. We're just moving down, meaning we're probably 139 to 140 and so on. Hopefully it's improving, but it contributes in a sort of, maybe not a major way, could be a minor way, but it still contributes. It still puts a dent in the space, on the thing, in the sense that things are so expensive here that do not need to be this expensive. They do not need to be this pricey. And people end up thinking that they're on cloud 10 when they own maybe one of those motor vehicles, not knowing that is like a second-hand vehicle, a little piece of nothing in other countries, because the government officials, the leaders of the land, have made it so difficult for the Jamaican people that what they're calling gold, frankincense, and myrrh, so to speak, is trash, is bush, not foolishness. It broke me. When the person made a comment and said, boy, it's such a pity that Jamaicans laud these vehicles that are, just a commoner, a dime a dozen. And I remember somebody telling me this years ago in another country. This was many years ago. And I said, this is so unfortunate for the Jamaican people. It's like there is an illusion over our eyes, just using the motor vehicle. We can juxtapose it as it relates to our education. There is an illusion to say that they want to get the people educated, but yet look at what our economy is. There is an illusion to say our economy is great, but more people are suffering. We're calling something that is considered maybe bronze, gold. We're calling it platinum. We're calling it diamonds, emeralds, and rubies. While in other countries they're saying, those BMW trucks, what is that? If you start to go on, maybe Teslas and, those top-end, higher-end vehicles, and you're talking my language, and it depends on what type too. And I said, oh my God, it is so sad. When I examine even our dollar, for me to get $1, I would need 160 Jamaican dollars to get that $1. 1 to 160. It is less than 10,000 US dollars to get 1 million Jamaican dollars. Watch me. I was looking on, for example, one of the Tory Birch slippers. And they probably, you have the knockoff, but maybe you have the lower end, mid tier end, and the higher end. you know, and they may cost, like, I wouldn't say these are knockoff, like $200. $200. I mean, I cannot even compare my Jamaican $200 with the United States $200. The two don't have the same value. And yet, if somebody were to purchase that in Jamaica, that would be about 30,000 Jamaican dollars, and you would say that they're spending poorly. They're not good stewards. Yet it's the same $200. So what I'm saying to you, beautiful people, is that we are living in an illusion. And what is happening is that they're putting more bricks on the people's head to say that they're not spending wisely. But if what they have is trash in comparison to, you know, I mean, when you put it in other countries, how is it then therefore that they're really spending poorly? They're really not spending poorly. It's just that it is just too expensive here. It is too difficult here for the Jamaican people unnecessarily. Because before Johnny was a boy, before he was in his mother's womb, even in the embryonic stages in the womb, Jamaica has been a difficult country financially. The masses can't seem to get a grip on the finances, no matter how they try what they do. If you don't be, why do you think many of the local artists, they go abroad, whether they're gospel or secular? Whether they are gospel or secular. Because it is so difficult, it does not add up. What we are calling gold, frankincense, and myrrh, so to speak, it is and I shouldn't even use a gold, frankincense. What we are calling gold, platinum, and emeralds and diamonds, it is something just ordinary in other countries. So we look like idiots, so to speak, when we're saying, wow, look at that. You know, even me say, wow, look at that BMW truck, what we call SUV, or that Benz truck, what we call it's probably like a little Toyota car or a little Honda car or whatever it is. Not to put down Honda, these are good motor vehicles. What is not in the creme de la creme, it is not among the creme de la creme. And it goes across the board, even in terms of, and it's like an illusion. And that illusion has crossed barriers, in our education system, in our health system. So we get the impression when they import these people, whether teachers or nurses and doctors, and yet more people are getting sick to the point where one hospital had to close off their emergency section. I never dreamed I would have heard of anything like that. They're importing teachers. Yes, teachers are mad. They said they're importing teachers and so forth. Yet students still not doing well. The illiteracy rate is still high. When you see people make comments on the different social media platforms, you see the level of incompetence. You see the level of poor comprehension skills, lacking critical thinking skills, lacking mental ability, lacking emotional intelligence. When we are on the road and we see the drivers, the way how they lost self-control because they have no emotional intelligence and they have no intelligence quotient, you know, their compos mentis is out of whack. They're not in full control of their own critical thinking skills and ability. You can't even have a fair argument. When I say argument, conversation. When we hear the word argument, we think it is something negative. No, not in all cases. We cannot even have a basic argument with the average person because you're going to leave with a completely different impression because of lacking knowledge. And I'm not talking about people not communicating effectively. Even with effective communication, there are some people who their mental abilities is out. It is off. Their comprehension skills, they're out. An illusion is being given to the Jamaican people. That is why we as Jamaicans, we think, oh my God, the Benz truck, wow, the BMW truck. No, mind you, I mean, I would love to have one, don't get me wrong, because I still think it's, you know. But when you watch certain programs and you see, you know, motor vehicles that makes these Benz trucks or BMW trucks look like they're not even trying, you say, wow. The man commented that it is so pity that Jamaicans don't even know gold, diamonds, and emeralds, so to speak. In other words, these motor vehicles that we're considering as the creme de la creme, they're basic, walkover in other countries. I pray one day Jamaica changes for the better. with good leadership, with the right leadership. Guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube. Have a good